What's going on, guys? Sawyer here. We are back with another video, the second this week, by the way. We are in the new location. We got the wooden overhang. We got the park behind us. It's beautiful. And we also got the East Bay Hills on either side of me. It's a nice day. In fact, so nice that I decided to take my jacket off. It's also a good day to be out here talking about God with you guys today. So without further ado, let's hop into today's video topic, which is how modern degenerate women take advantage of you. Now, I'm not trying to hate on women or be like one of these all women suck kind of guys, because there are actually some great women out here, Christian or secular, that have wifely and godly qualities, which is what we as men should be looking for. However, I am going to be discussing mainly the degenerate women today. The strippers, 304s, cam girls, corn stars, Insta models, fitness girls, you get the point. And this is not to bring them to shame, but rather to express concern for them and also to warn you guys. So what really sparked this video is that as much as I don't like to think about it because I take college classes, I'm a high school senior who still takes free classes over there, and one of them is world literature. And one of the books that my teacher is having our class read is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It's a book that I highly don't recommend Christians read, especially Christian men. And thankfully it's not the only book that I read, because I also read the Word, the Bible. I'm about to finish Furious George, which is George Carl's coaching memoir, a very good book about the ins and outs about coaching in sports. And I'm about to start Trump's masterpiece, The Art of the Deal, but that's besides the point. The Handmaid's Tale is highly feminist, and to put it briefly, feminism and the red pill are both lies in this world from the pits of hell that I advise you guys to stay away from. It also paints a very false picture about Christ. Gilead, the society in the book, is depicted to be an oppressive Christian quote-unquote society, but I think Gilead goes against all of the New Testament, and it paints a very false picture about Christ. And besides the lies that the book depicts about God, it also promotes sexuality, we should call it. In page 22, the main character Alfred and her partner are basically walking away from two low-ranking guards. And she basically flashes the two guards in a sexually provocative way. And she basically states that she's partially ashamed, but not really at all. And then she says, quote, "I enjoy the power of a dog bone, passive but dare. I hope they get hard at the sight of us and have to rub themselves against the painted barriers." And my initial thought is to keep it non-vulgar, you nasty bee. But it also has me thinking about how sexually provocative girls, online and in real life, use their body to take advantage of men. It happens in real life, at strip clubs, at college parties, and also on the internet with online fitness girls, fashion models, corn stars, you get the point. We see girls who actively sell their body as a means to gain money and, more importantly, power over others. $8 to $10 a month OnlyFantron. The Instagram photos. Check out this new glute workout. Strip clubs. Hook up with this girl. She's hot. You guys get all the examples. And you think I'm going to go after the women for this, but I'm actually going to focus on the men first. Y'all as men fall for the trap. And admittedly, I was one of these guys. I didn't pay for corn, thankfully, but I did ask for and get certain things from a fitness girl that I shouldn't have been getting. It was only for free, but it was disgusting. Thankfully, I'm breaking free of my corn addiction and my addiction to this particular girl as well. I'm about 2 weeks free from any relapse, and I haven't watched any corn really since last year. Unfortunately though, many guys haven't broken free from watching or paying for corn. And then we have guys who say, "Oh, if you pay for corn, you're not a man. You don't belong with us. Why should I care about your struggles?" But even if you've broken free from the trap of porn and casual sex, you should still care. First off, just because you don't do a certain thing doesn't mean that you're somehow better than guys who do. You're still a man, and whenever there is flesh, there is sin. Let's also not deny that behind your success was a man who was previously addicted to corn or sex in some kind of way. A man who made the demonic porn/sex industry richer through either watching it or, in more unfortunate cases, paying for it. This is a whole separate topic because we have a prideful group of guys who think that they're too good to serve God and help others, but I'm getting sidetracked. What you guys gotta realize is that sex and lust is one of Satan's biggest devices, and we should be aware of his devices. As Paul states in 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should take advantage of us, for we, as men of God, are not ignorant of his devices. And I mean, look at the foolish man in Proverbs 7:6-27. A young man devoid of understanding went with a woman who had the attire of a harlot, which is a Hebrew word for a woman who gives sex to guys for money. He then went with her to go have sex with her husband supposedly not at home, but as you'll read in the passage, that just wasn't the case. She spread her bed with tapestry, covered with some of the fanciest blankets that she could find. The bed was also perfumed, and you get the point. This woman was fully preparing to give this guy the best sex. The lustful guy was allured into it, and he went with her. Then, as he was going with her, he got shot in the liver with an arrow, and he died. This foolish man literally died because he was sold by a little bit of coochie. And considering that she was diligent to see him, which is another thing that you're going to find in this passage, that probably means that she was getting some kind of money out of this guy, one way or another. This is the playbook about how online girls, and girls in general, sell their body. They get you all horny with the way they speak, how they dress, and the way that they show their body. Then they get you to buy the sex just so they can get rich at your expense. They're taking advantage of you, and you gotta stop letting that happen. Every single time you engage in sexual activity with someone, whether it's real life sex or online porn, you tie your soul to that woman. That's right, the girl that you simp for, who you have a crush on, who you want to wank to, excuse me for my vulgar language, God, who you may pay for, your soul ties to her specifically, and now she has power over you. She can get you to do whatever she wants you to do because she knows that you're always going to be looking for something out of her. Even if you try to disassociate with your own flesh, your soul is still tied to this woman due to the feelings, memories, and thoughts that were created by you having real or virtual sex with her. Soul ties are a very real thing, and are actually mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible. 1 Samuel 18:1 states that the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David. And while that's a positive soul tie of brotherhood, soul ties can also be toxic. Like the soul tie that you have between yourself and the girl that you dated or watched online. These soul ties have several negative effects. They can tempt you into doing harmful things with your body, such as fapping. They can also be distractions for you in your daily life. Toxic soul ties are something that you don't want to be having. I'll make a separate video about breaking soul ties in the future, but the point I'm trying to make is that we as men need to A, avoid watching or looking at sexually provocative content online, and B, abstain from all sex, whether it's casual hookups or situational ships, because fornication, like fapping, is also a sexual sin. Yes, freely having sex is a sin. In Matthew 19:9, Jesus himself states, "And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marries another commits adultery." This verse pertains more to monogamy, but it can also be applied to staying away from dating and sex and only having sex with one woman, which is your future or present wife. Paul was literally a virgin, and he himself stated in 1 Corinthians 7:8, "But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them to remain even as I am." He called for his followers to stay celibate, and thus he is the male example of celibacy. And for the females, I mean, Jesus' mother was literally the Virgin Mary. And just to be clear, she's not on the same level as the Holy Trinity, like many Catholics proclaim, but she is an example that women should also be staying celibate until marriage. It's really both genders. We need to stop engaging in everything that is associated with sexual immorality, and we need to rather engage in our relationship with God. Whether it's the strip clubs, porn, or even the online fitness girls, stay away from it all. Flee sexual immorality. That's 1 Corinthians 6:18. And just to give you guys some perspective, yes, the strippers, casual daters, porn stars, models, fitness girls, they're all going to hell if they don't repent. James in James 5:5 in the King James Version addresses the men and women who have been sexually unrestrained by stating, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter." Wanton refers to sexually unrestrained, and a day of slaughter refers to the day that these sexually explicit women will face their day of condemnation by God to hell. And hell isn't just a spiritual thing. These women risk future job opportunities. They destroy their prospects of marriage, which is really important for them, especially when they get into their 30s. And this shows when we got a sizable cohort of women who are in their 40s that are on antidepressants. However, the men who look at them, chase them, hook up with them, and buy their stuff, they're also going to hell for actively supporting and enabling this woman's spiritual destruction. For Eve only bit the apple because Adam enabled it, and then Adam bit the apple himself. And for almost all guys currently living in this society today, that's where you're currently at or you've previously been. You're on a path to hell because you allowed the degeneracy, and you need to stop doing so. That's for the betterment of your quality of life and your relationship with God. Anyways, that's the end of this video. I wanted to make another video about lust today because I hadn't done so since January, and my last 2 videos since coming back are about topics that mostly pertain to Christians and Christians only. I wanted to speak about something that was a bit more broad and relatable to the wider world at large. I also want to say that I'm sorry if it looks like I'm looking at a script instead of looking at you guys during these videos, because I am. I function better as a speaker when I have what I want to say written down and then I execute it. I can't really come up with things in my head, and I want to say everything I want to say without forgetting it. I want you guys to hear everything I've written down without me slipping up, so if it comes at the cost of me not looking at you guys and me looking away, I apologize. But anyways, I hope you guys learned a little bit about how the demon of lust hurts all people, men and women, and why it should be defeated. Like, subscribe, and follow me on my other socials for more. Stay safe. Make smart decisions, and most importantly, stay faithful.